So back in college, my freshman or sophomore year, I had an experience where there was a girl who came to my classes, and she was being a look at my college to see if she wanted to go there or not. Now, I also had a job as a tour guide at the school, and she was kind of attractive. And so I offered to take her for a tour around the school after our class, which she accepted. It was a nice time walking around and talking and looking at the stuff going on at the school. But towards the end, when I got to be finished, she asked me a question about what was the faith life like here at college. And I thought about it for a second. And there was two types of people usually here at college. We have those who go really far into their faith. That's all they want to talk about 24/7. They go to every single church event. They're in church every Sunday. They are there. They're part of the different groups on campus. They're all about faith. They are in it all the time. Or you have the people who decide that really, I'm not going to do that. I have things I'm going to do. I'm going to explore different ways of being. I'm going to find myself, and I'm going to do that without the church at times. And honestly, to play out drinking Saturday night, and on Sunday morning, they're slightly too hungover to go to worship. And sadly, every once in a while, that was me too. But I will tell you also that there are a great many people here who are wonderful. That my best friends here at college are an atheist, a Jew, and a wannabe Wiccan. And she looked at me completely befuddled and said, how can you possibly be friends with people who you know for certain are going to hell? I was slightly stunned at the words. And I think, well, they're really good people. I love being around them. So why wouldn't I want to be their friends? And I couldn't be separated. And I have not seen her ever again since, as far as I know. Now, I've told this story quite a few times in my life. And every time I come across, where I've even believed to myself, look how great I was, right? She was missing out on all these people, wonderful people in the world being super judgmental. And here I was, loving everybody and being so great and wonderful. Until this week when I read these readings again and was reminded painfully that in that moment and in every single time since when I've told this story, I have not been loving to that girl. I had not shown her compassion in those moments. I had instantly made a snap judgment that she was no longer worth my time. Because she couldn't love in a way that I was loving. Because evidently I'm the perfect embodiment of love, right? And it's all just nailed down perfectly. And to think about my life, to think about what in her life had made her that way. What experience had she had to understand that there was people inside, people outside, and that you can't mix. I just have to consider what was going on in her heart and in her mind that day. I never tried to figure her out. I never tried to show love to her, but instead leapt to judgment. I look back now, I would have been very much the same person. Now, growing up, we had 3 different pastors, but the one who was there with me the longest, he was one. Well, one of those pastors decided that Ouija boards were very demonic, had to be eliminated. Same with Dungeons and Dragons, which I was playing. I never admitted to him. I don't want to be judged too harshly. That's of the devil as well, so we can't have that. I also listen to punk rock pretty often. I remember one day in particular where my friend and I had a long debate with my pastor about whether or not the Offspring were a demonic band or not. What if I had gone along with his line of thinking, I had accepted everything my pastor had said? Would I not have had the same exact answers as she had? What if I didn't have friends around me giving me the courage to speak out? What if I had not had the experiences of being the cast out, of being that nerdy kid who was abused in high school? What if I hadn't had those experiences? And so when I met new people, didn't want to immediately put them in a higher or a lower rung. And I want to try to meet people where they're at, except for that one day when I talk very judgmental. See, because God tells us that we are to love as God loves. We are to love free of judgment. And we are to love people. We have to be able to meet them where they are, not where we want them to be. Our guide today, an Ethiopian eunuch, coming from a faraway land, had never even read these scriptures before. What if Philip had gone up to the carriage, and when the guy asked him, "Can you please explain this to me?" he said, "Don't you know this already? Why don't you know this? You should already be there by now. Why do I need to sit down and talk with you about this kind of stuff?" Hey Kylie, how's it going? All right. If we are to love, if we are going to show God's face in the world, we have to do so free of judgment. We have a God who loves us unconditionally, do we not? But God comes to all of us and says, "You are loved." And we're going to help people see that same God. We have to do so from a place of actual love and not of condensation. Of not looking down on someone. Now, I think that sometimes the hardest people for us to love are other Christians, is it not? Other Christians who we disagree with. Other Christians that we have very big differences in our faith lives. And we can't understand, why can't you love God the same way I love God? Why can't you read the scriptures the same way that I read scriptures? Why can't you understand? And they say the same things right back to us. And we have a hard time loving each other across the different aisles of our faith. How can we possibly begin to love people outside of our faith? And not even outside. For all are indeed our fellow brothers and sisters, are they not? Our fellow brothers and sisters may not have experienced God in their lives quite yet, but God has already been there with them their entire lives. How can we hope? See, as the scripture said, no one can see the face of God, can they? God doesn't magically appear here in the room and say, "Hey, here I am. Here's what I look like. Here's all I have." Instead, God comes to us through one another. God comes to this world through us. The face of God in this world is our faces. The love in this world that is from God comes from us. One more quick story. A few years ago, I was at a punk rock concert with some friends of mine. Actually, it was me, my brother, and my buddy Stu, who was another pastor's husband, who was in his 50s or so. So me and Stu went out to dinner, went to the concert with, again, the Offspring, the Vandals, Bad Religion, great show. And I saw my friends from high school. Now my friend, not quite the same walk of life that I had had. Again, the same friend, though, who had debated with my pastor about the value of the Offspring. Why not the concert with me? He walked a whole different line in his life. And one of his friends, who I never met before, came up and we started talking. And my friend decided to tell her, hey, this is my friend Sean. He's a pastor in some sort of Christian church. I forget what kind it is. Hi, how you doing? Wait. You're a Christian? Yeah. And you're here? It's good music. Why wouldn't I be here? I thought you think you're too good for us. I never imagined I'd meet a Christian who wouldn't judge me automatically for my hair and my tattoos and my piercings and everything else. You should see my hair in college. And I got my tattoos. Should I whip those out too? But she never could imagine a Christian loving her. Someone of faith accepting her for who she was. If we can't love one another, free of judgment, how can we possibly hope to reach a world that is so untrusting of us, that looks and sees judgment? My prayer for us, that we may free ourselves of judgment, whether it be of other believers or people who have never come to understand Christ's presence in their lives. That when we meet people on our path of life, we may seek to know who they are and not who we imagine them to be. We may love completely as God loves us completely. Amen.